if you've ever been fishing and you bump into another guy out there fishing, he's just getting there, asking how you doing, how's it been, having any luck, something like that, and your answer is, man, they're just not biting today, or I can't get any bites. If this is you, then I have some tips. This video is for you. Might find helpful. We'll get off right into it. So the first tip is to have a target fish. If you don't know what you're fishing for, then you're probably not going to catch it. So fish there's different breeds, bluegill, catfish. They eat at different times. They live in different areas of the lake, and they respond differently to different baits and tackle and that kind of thing. So know what you're fishing for and have a target fish that you want to fish for. Once you do that, you can do some research on the fish. You get online and look for information about lakes around you, what kind of fish are in the lakes, is it stocked, what they eat, their diet, seasons. You get on Google Maps and look for points that extend out into a lake that are a little bit deeper. Fish like to be there. Just like learning more about the lake, learning where to fish. There's a lot that goes into it, and they move around different parts of the lake depending on the season, if they're spawning, whatnot. So they migrate too. So that's tip number one, is to have your target fish and do some research on it. Make sure you have your fishing license and know your limits and know its diet, the habitat, and all that. So tip two, go during the best time to go. So there's basically 4 feeding cycles every day. So there's a feeding cycle every 6 hours. And so if you're not getting any bites, it's possible that you're going outside of one of these feeding hours and the fish just aren't hungry, or they're not responding to it. There's a lot of factors that can go into it. Some things that you should check before going is, how's the weather? So if it's a sunny day, fish are going to be so active because they're more exposed. They can be seen by predators more because it's a fish eat fish world. So their response to everything is investigate, can I be eaten by it or can I eat it? So on sunny days they're kind of exposed, and so they're less likely to bite. Cloudy days are better because they can hide better and move around better, and they feel more protected. The wind's going to make it more choppy, so it's going to make it kind of more difficult to fish, just casting in general. The moon has a lot to do with it too. If it's a new moon, it's typically best, better to go when it's a new moon. Wind direction, so the wind matters because the wind's going to blow all the food that's on the lake, on the surface and stuff, and the fish are going to follow the food. So whichever way the wind's blowing and how strong the wind is important to know if that's a good spot to fish that day. Also just the season. So there's a website. It's called fishreminder.com, and they do a pretty great job at providing daily information. It gives you the best times, it gives you wind, it gives you atmospheric pressure. They respond to you might have heard that too, barometric pressure or atmospheric pressure. Basically the fishes can tell if it's going to rain or not, and so depending on that, typically fishing's best right before a storm or right after a storm, because fish are trying to eat all they can before that storm happens. So they're not going to be active during it. So fishingreminder.com, check your fish forecasts, see what the conditions are for that day, so you know what to be prepared for. So, next brings us to the next step, be prepared. So rods, reels, have them all set up, rigged, ready to go. Have a couple rods set up for bobber fishing, have a couple different lengths, different gear, have a shaky head on one, and you know, a wacky rig, or if you're fishing live bait, worms, just make sure you're prepared. Have all your gear set up before you go. You don't want to set up while you're there, because that cuts into your time fishing, and that reduces your chances of catching a fish. So the less you fish, the less likely you're going to catch a fish, right? So be prepared before you go. Make sure like you got all your bait. Bring a variety of different bait. Don't just bring one bait. Just bring a couple, because you know, fish might like one thing one day and another thing the next day. You know, there's a lot of question on what's the best bait, but really it just depends. It's different for every single lake and body of water. So there's a lot of different thoughts on it online and stuff, but basically you just have to, you know, you can ask around your local bait shops or other fishers, see what they have luck with, and that's probably your best bet. And have a game plan, you know. Be like, okay, I'm gonna start here, I'm gonna move here, I'm gonna fish this, I'm gonna use this bait, you know. And what I mean by having, you know, all your rods and stuff set up is, I have different rods set up for different occasions. So for whatever I need, these are all set up. This one already has the bobber, they're all ready to cast out. This one already has a little minnow on it, just to test if they don't like live bait. This is shaky head. I got a little fly on here, and these are catfish poles. I got a foldable net right there, so it's all pretty compact. All my stuff fits right in here. Also, if you aren't getting any bites, you want to make sure you're using the right gear. So that's the next tip, is using the right gear. And so fish are, you know, they respond by, you know, can I eat it or am I going to be eaten? So one big thing that I learned is using the right sized line, test line. I used to like just go for the heavy braided, you know, I'm never gonna snap my line, I'm never gonna lose a fish with this heavy duty stuff. But I found out that that heavier line actually is spooking fish. So if you're using a heavy line, that could be why you're not getting any bites, because the fish will detect a large unknown object nearby and will be spooked and they won't bite it. So the thinner lines usually cut through the water better, and you know, don't spook the fish. It doesn't matter if it can be seen or not, because there's a lot of you know, linear lines and stuff underwater, and but the big thing is how it can cut through water, the disturbance it makes. So I always just fish with now, instead of like the crazy 50-pound braid and all that, I use a 4-pound mono, $1.74 for 700 yards, right? And a 10-pound Vanish. I like this fluorocarbon. So you know, for panfish, that kind of thing, a bluegill, 4-pound, catfish in the lake, channel cats and all that, 10-pound, crappie, 10-pound. And plus, like, if you fish with the heavy stuff, it just takes the you know, fun of the catching it and getting the bite and reel the fight, you know, out of it, because you're just like, you're coming here. So use the right gear. If you're not getting bites, it could also be because your bait's too big. You know, are they going to be eaten, or are they going to eat it? So if you're not getting any bites, try downsizing your baits and your hooks, you know, little by little, and see if you get any response by that. So the next tip is to cover more water. Don't just stay in one place fishing and not having any luck, and just keep on casting out there. And you know, if you're not getting any bites, or you keep getting snagged, you're not getting anything, not having any luck, you know, fish in an area for 10 minutes, and fish around cover too. So you'll never catch a fish if you don't get the bait right in front of the fish's face. So you want to be sure to you're throwing your line right, like a pile of grass, rocks, somewhere where the current's blocked, something like that. And if you don't have any luck in 10 minutes, time to move. You know, don't stay there. You're wasting your time. There's nothing. You're not going to get any bites after that. Just move somewhere else and see if you have better luck, because fish move around a lot. So if all these don't work, you know, and you're still having trouble, there's a lot of other things that could be it. Those are just like the top reasons I think that a lot of people don't get bites. and it's helped a lot of people. It helped me. I learned a lot by that, and you know, so using those, you can catch more fish, and the more fish you catch, the more your wife will let you go fishing. So if all those don't help, I do have a secret weapon here, and I've discovered this, and I really enjoyed it. It's like a part of my game plan now, and so what I got here is just an old broken catfish pole. The tip of it broke off, got snapped in the door. I put some braided line on it, and I found this. It's called an iBobber. So I'll set this down. So that's it right there, and it's a rechargeable little bobber that you can cast out. It doesn't weigh that much. It's very light. Have it connected with just a barrel swivel, a walking barrel swivel. I don't know how well the video I'm taking, but in braided line so you don't lose it. You do want braided for this. I have a phone holder on the pole. I found it at Walmart. It was a bike holder actually. It was like $5, but it fits on the fishing pole too. And this thing will, you can get on your phone and you can, it'll tell you, cast it out, and it's a sonar, and it'll tell you if there's any fish, how big the fish are, how deep the water is. On the app it tells you weather, forecasts, it has a GPS fishing log so you can log your trips. All kind of useful information, and that's what I'll throw out first when I first get somewhere. I'll throw that out, and you know, I'll see if there's any fish there, and if it, you know, that way I know if you know, if I'm, you know, wasting my time in a spot, or I can find the fish first, and it makes fishing a lot more enjoyable when you're catching more fish, right? So those are the tips I have for you today. If you like the video, got content out of it, please give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing if you liked it. I have a lot of videos including drone fishing, cast nets, you know, fishing from the Philippines, all kinds of videos coming up. So be sure to subscribe so you'll be the first to see those, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Alright guys, good luck and fish on!